Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Fitness Model Prep. If you haven't watched the other episodes, then pause this video, go back and watch the others first. This morning I weighed in 0.6 kilos lighter, so won't be doing cardio again for another week. If not, well, we'll see. But that's a considerable drop, so cardio did its job. Prepare yourself for probably the best chicken salad you've ever seen in your entire life. You ready? We got pickled beetroot, pickled gherkins, lots of volume with the salad, and chicken with the perfect amount of seasoning. I practice what I preach, guys. And last video, if you did miss it, I talked about diet hacks and things that can help you keep stuck to your diet. Okay, so don't hate me, but it's actually the next day. I was going to talk a little bit about the cardio yesterday, but I was busy. I went out and just forgot, really. No excuses, just forgot about it. So last night I went to that. It was pretty cool, it was pretty fun. Bingo in a warehouse with lots of music. So yeah, fun times. So cardio, changing the subject. There's a couple of things we want to take into consideration with cardio. The question I had was this one here, which was basically asking, in a maintenance phase, would you eat back the calories in which you burn? I'm going to break this question down into 3 different phases. So if we started with cutting, so we'll have cutting, maintenance, and then bulking, or gaining. Gaining's a better word, really. Psychologically it's better. So if we started with cutting, if you were in a cutting phase, a dieting phase, the idea of eating back the calories would probably be less of, like, we wouldn't do that. In your mind you think, okay, that's 300 calories down, I don't need to eat back those calories because that's just a little bit extra work into the diet. So yes, in that case, majority of people don't eat back the calories. Like 300 calories is additional. In a maintenance phase, going to the next phase, it's a little bit more grey. Some people do, some people don't. And is what I would suggest is, if it's something that you don't do regularly, so if for example you go and play football every week, and you're going to be burning, I don't know, maybe 300, 400 calories playing football, would you eat back those calories? Yes, if it was regular, yes, I would. I would put that into your daily, your weekly average. So it's the same sort of thing as doing like a high day and a low day. If you were doing your training on that day, you could have a high day on that day because you had additional cardio. It doesn't really matter as long as the week's average is equated. So if for the week, I'm not even going to try and do the math, but if for the week you had this amount of calories, right? That's probably a bad way to do it, but if for the week you had this amount of calories, and you did an additional bit of cardio to make the amount of calories that you used up even more, if you were doing that weekly, then yes, it'd be a good idea to eat back those calories. But if it was something that you just did on the one-off, then this isn't going to be consistently that big. Okay, so one week it might be bigger, one week it might be smaller. So over the average of those 2 weeks, it doesn't really matter. You don't need to eat back those calories. In a gaining phase, I would structure it exactly the same as the maintenance. If you are going to be doing it regularly, then yes, put up your food a little bit higher. But if it's one-off thing, you could do. If it was something which is going to be burning lots of calories, 300 calories is a good amount, but it's not that much. If you're doing like a marathon, or if you were doing some sort of training for something, like an Ironman or something, you're burning lots and lots of calories, then yes, you're gonna have to eat those calories back, because if you're in a maintenance or a cutting phase or a bulking phase, then it will have to be eaten back, otherwise you'll be in a very heavy deficit, because you can burn 3,000, 4,000 additional calories from doing marathon training or Ironman training, something like that. So you're going to be losing a lot of muscle mass. Even in a dieting phase, if you were doing that amount of expenditure, burning that amount of calories, it would be a good idea to eat some or more of those back than you would usually, because a heavy deficit just means more muscle wastage, less training performance. Your body's going to require more nutrition to be able to actually function. So yeah, in that case, it would be a good idea. Okay, so that is the question. A little roundup from this morning and yesterday. Obviously I was out quite late. I probably did a little bit extra cardio from just moving around and dancing and stuff. So subsequently this morning I've weighed in again a lot lighter. So we've had 2 very big drops recently. If this was a competition prep or a prolonged diet, I would probably structure in a refeed, just because we're dropping quite fast, or I would put my calories up consistently, because you don't want to be dropping this fast on like a prolonged diet. But because it's only a shorter one, doesn't really matter so much, and if I can do it, then it's fine. Last night I got to the end of the night as well, and I had I think 200 calories of carbs, was it 200 or 100 calories of carbs left, and I just didn't eat them because I'm in a diet. I don't think it will affect my training performance today too much, and it was quite late, so I was just like, I don't need it, I can go to sleep. And I slept well actually, so that is good. Right. So we've passed the kids park. Thought I'd give a little update on how that session went. All in all, everything was pretty good. Strength was up, which was nice considering the weight drop. Performance was better than last time. Deadlifts, I've got higher reps on. Everything was progressed in some way or another, whether that was weight or volume. So very happy about that session, and I'm not really sure why it went so well, to be honest. I didn't really have like a considerable amount of sleep last night. I didn't have lots of pre-workout. I had my normal breakfast, but sometimes those sessions just happen, you know, and you got to take full advantage of those when they happen. So the stars aligned, and I'd had a very good session. Good morning, guys. I am on my way down to the gym. It is Monday, the day after the weekend. Having a successful weekend, very enjoyable time. Went out with my girlfriend for a meal and things like that, which I didn't track. So subsequently this morning, good morning, how you doing? Subsequently this morning, I weighed in about a kilo heavier, but get ready for another awkward moment, but that means that I'm not going to drop any calories or anything like that. I will keep things the same, but I'm going to try and maybe drink a little bit more water, just so I've got a more accurate reading on my weight. My weigh-in being a kilo heavier doesn't surprise me at all. The food that I had was salty, to say the least. It was a Sunday roast. Hard to track anyway, but I kind of just ballparked it in my mind. So yeah, it's one of those situations where a lot of people would drop calories in order to try and mitigate that, but I don't think, to be honest, I went over by that much in my calories. I think a lot of it is just water retention, etc. So yeah, be sensible with it and just stick to the plan. Don't freak out when you get a high weight reading. What is up, guys? I hope you are enjoying the video so far, and hopefully you are experiencing a little bit better audio in your ear holes. I took the suggestion of Adam Macro, I can't remember his second name, so it's just going to have to be Adam Macro, from Instagram. He commented on my last video and suggested the microphone, so hopefully this is better. If it's not better, then that was a waste of money, and Adam, I'm coming for you. But this session went well. I was pretty happy with the overall performance. I would have been much happier if I got 8 reps on the first set, but this is basically an example of the top set down set method that I spoke about. So you hit your top sets on a heavier weight and then regress and make up the volume. So I went from 50s for a set of 7 and a set of 6, and then went down to 42.5s for 2 sets, I think of 11, which was fine. Like, that was kind of, I matched what I did last session, which is a bit annoying, and I would have preferred to have a little bit better performance, but it is what it is.
Saw you, my world stopped spinning. Now my world revolves around you. Did your heart stop when you first saw me? Did your world stop spinning? Does your world revolve around me?
This is going to be a struggle to hold up. Overall session was very good. I'm very pleased with my performance. Strength was good. Overall, I did same sort of top set as I did last week, which was the 50 for 7 and 6, which was a bit frustrating. Wanted to get an 8 in there, but it is what it is. Physique wise, as you can see by my physique video, I don't think we've made any damage. If anything, I feel a lot more full, a lot more better pump as well. So probably this added sodium and a little bit more carbs helped with that. Actually, I thought I had very low carbs yesterday, to be honest, but maybe it went over on fats and sodium instead. So pump was decent, strength was decent. The duration of the session took a little bit longer, but that's more down to the fact that I also coach quite a few people that go to my gym online, so I just make their programs and things like that, nutrition side of things too, and they had a few questions to ask, and then you get onto topics of conversation, and it can take a little while. So but all good, and to be honest, that kind of helps me really to get my better rest periods in, because I don't really rest enough during my sets. So all good.